You are offered $1 million USD if you can hide a pair of car keys from the entirety of the FBI force for 7 days. Where do you hide the keys?
Easy. I just keep them on my person for a few hours. Inevitably, I will lose them, and even the entirety of the FBI tearing apart my whole house won't be able to find the damn keys.
Mail them to the FBI office. USPS Media Mail.
A university janitor's keychain.
Tape them on the FBI's back. The jingling will haunt them all week, and they'll never find it.
Mail hundreds of decoys keys across the world to China and Russia and everywhere else that dislikes the idea of FBI agents going through their mail system. And just leave the real keys in some random bush somewhere under a rock or something.
Take the imprint of the keys. Melt the keys. After 7 days, use the taken imprint mold to retrieve the keys.
Easy, ask the CIA to hold them, those two don't share shit.
I bribe my way onto a container ship going anywhere in Asia that's registered to a non-US country, doesn't matter where, it's the trip distance I'm concerned with, not the destination. If they don't have to be returned, well, once we're far enough out at sea, toss. Those ain't getting found 12,000 feet down. If they do, I'll hide them in a random container filled with stuff. Even if the FBI determines I'm on the boat once it's in international waters, and since it's not a US ship, there's no jurisdiction to force it to turn around. I just need to hope they don't alert the Coast Guard before we hit the international boundary.
Put them in the mail, send them to an address that does not exist in a foreign country. They will come back in a few weeks, months.
Duct tape it inside a Starbucks cup, drive to a part of town where tomorrow is garbage day, leave it in some random person's garbage bin by the street.
Take a vacation abroad. FBI aren't going to be very effective where they have zero jurisdiction.
I would call their office directly with a tip on where they are, and watch them never follow up on it. It's foolproof.
Does the FBI know I'm the one with the keys? If not, I'd just keep them with me and use them as my actual keys. If they do know it's me, I lock them in a box and throw it in the Delaware.
I give them to my friend, who is conveniently going on a vacation with loan money.
I'll give them to my 3-year-old to hide. Good luck finding them after that.
Put them in a sock, put the sock in the dryer, repeat until it goes to wherever socks go when they disappear from the dryer. Downside, they'll be gone forever.
I'd tape them to my desktop and open incognito mode.
Put them in a magnetic key hider and stick them under some random 18-wheeler at the local truck stop. While the FBI is hunting for the keys, I change out the locks in the car. FBI comes screaming into my driveway with 60 seconds left on the clock, tries the keys, they don't work. FBI concludes they have lost. I get $1 million.
Throw them in the ocean. Never said I have to be able to retrieve them.
On the third page of Google search.
I stick them in my printer's ink cartridges. When the printer fails to work, they will assume everything is normal.
Is destroying, disfiguring allowed? If so, I would take as many keys I could get my hands on and put them on different rings so that there is at least one almost identical match on 4 or 5 of them, and hide them in the following places. One within a private property that has high security, like a bank, as the main decoy. One underwater on the beach. One out of the city. One underground. And one in a dead body at a morgue, no reason in particular. I make all these trips very obvious, as they will definitely follow me. And after placing the one at the bank, pretend to have troubles with the car. But where I've really put it is at a grocery store I would stop at on the way, in the fresh produce aisle. Why? As someone who worked at one, even though they try to keep stuff fresh with cold air and preservatives and stuff, it only lasts so long. They then toss it, where it goes to the compost, which is either reused or put in a dump. Either way, it has to move to several locations on the way, with many splits and such. And if they have enough manpower to search all the possible locations, give them a round of applause.
Hide them inside a power supply, inside a PC, inside a box, inside a bag, inside a trash can, inside the side gate of an abandoned house a few blocks away.
I just leave them on an airplane. If the airline can't find my Nintendo Switch that I left on it, I doubt anyone is gonna find some keys. Edit, well, this blew up quite amazingly. Thanks for the silvers, and now my highest rated comment is a passive-aggressive projection to an airline about something that's my own fault. Second edit, I'm aware someone most likely has it, and I probably won't see it again.
Was gonna say up my ass, but my uncle works for the FBI.
I'll turn them into tiny little keys. Then I put those keys in a box, put the box inside another box. I'll mail that box to myself, and when it arrives, I'll smash it with a hammer.
Plain sight, I pretend to use them as my real car keys.
Fucking easy money. I can think of several locations. Inside of my hot water storage system tank. Cut a piece of framing timber, bore a hole in it, place keys inside and secure it to another piece of framing in the roof or under the house. Take a new large candle, drill a hole in the underside, insert the keys, fill back up with the wax shavings, place it in the oven so it melts back up and wrap it back up like new.
Nice try, FBI chief. You're not slick.
I'll let you know when the 7 days are up.
In my panties, no one ever looks there. Sad face.
Keys go in a plastic Easter egg. The Easter egg goes in your anus. It'll have to come out for you to poop, and it'll have to go back in after. You'll have to learn to do it without lube, because if you always carried lube with you, it might tip them off. Also, you will need to not move very fast because you might rattle.
This question would have been better if the keys you hide for 7 days opens up a box for the $1 million, so you can't do something insane like the first person who said throw them in the ocean.
This is Montana, where don't I hide them? Exclamation mark.
This reminds me of a story. One time when we were little, like under 3, my dad lost his keys. Turned the house upside down. Even tried to talk to 2 toddlers trying to figure out if we had hide them. It had just snowed. So my poor dad is outside, cold, miserable, slowly going over the snow with a rake. My mom walks up behind him and pulls the keys out of his back pocket. They had been there the whole time. Kinda feel like going and throwing them in a snowbank or a freshly sowed parking lot that is about to be shoveled and removed.
Do I need to be able to get them back? If not, I'd just toss them down a gopher hole here on the ranch, way out back in the pasture. With the amount of random metal bits laying around after a century of farming, you're never finding them with a metal detector. In the middle of either the summer or the winter, you'll need a pick to move any of that hard native soil. Good luck finding my soft moccasin tracks on dry ground among sheep and cattle prints galore. And between the gopher activity and the millions of identical holes, they're likely gone for good. They wouldn't even know which square mile to start looking on.
Take them to Home Depot and hide them in plain sight with the key blanks.
Put them in my pants. No one is ever trying to get into my pants.
What is my perfect crime? I get the keys at midnight. Do I store them in a vault? No, I hang them from the chandelier. It's priceless. As I'm hanging them up, a woman catches me. She tells me to stop. It's her father's chandelier. She's Tiffany. I say no. We make love all night. In the morning, the FBI comes and I escape in one of their uniforms. I tell her to meet me in Mexico, but I go to Canada. I don't trust her. Besides, I like the cold. 30 years later, I get a postcard. I have a son and he's the head of the FBI. This is where the story gets interesting. I tell Tiffany to meet me in Paris by the Trocadero. She's been waiting for me all these years. She's never taken another lover. I don't care. I don't show up. I go to Berlin. That's where I stash the keys.
I mail them somewhere really far away. It's a federal offense to go through someone else's unopened mail, and since key owning isn't a crime, I don't see them getting a warrant.
The last place they look, it's a surefire way to victory.
How long do I have to hide them? I mean, how long do I have to plan and execute the hiding?
On the floor in my kids' rooms.
Mail them to myself, but change the zip code to the neighboring county. It'll take at least a fortnight for USPS to figure it out.
I drop the keys into any source of water in Flint, Michigan.